So I'm recording a new demo video for week 3 for my progress during week 3. Since I'm not going to be able to go to class during week 4 again, I have another mandatory 3-day event at my new job. So I apologize, but I did work on my project. I will start with, okay, let me go into play mode. So most of the changes occurred in the next scene, not in this one, but I still want to give you and like where it starts from the beginning, so you know how the storytelling part goes. You can skip to this part and or watch it from the beginning. I'm not gonna talk much, but it's once again the intro, like presented by me, what it is, the title of the project, Sonidify XR Gramophone, and then the option of doing a tutorial if user. Oh, sorry, before that, the quote that I really like. I'm gonna turn on the volume again.
It's a ceremonial sojourn.
Again, I'm going to leave the AI narrator voice clips at the end just because it's not my priority. I'm gonna pay for the service and just get the high quality ones instead of me trying to work around it. So, but everything, the logic, the scripts function. So after this user, if they want to do a tutorial, I'm gonna show you. Yes, if they skip, it just goes right into the next scene. But let's do a tutorial. So as I previously talked about it last week, I'm going to be using,
and red signifies a pressed state.
Okay, I'm gonna quit. I'm going to be using like short videos I recorded, which I think it's just much more scalable, much easier for user to understand what to do. Here, they're just learning how about hovering on buttons, clicking, like grabbing with the trigger and things like that. How to turn on the black and white mode. Very basic interactions, but for a new person, again, my whole project is based on learning, so I need to even take care of this. So, I have this step numbers 2 out of 6, and it's very scalable. So if I add or remove, it's gonna update automatically. The text, if they want to follow along with the video, continue. So okay, after that, the next thing gets triggered. As I mentioned earlier, if user just skip the tutorial, both events will go into the next scene anyway. And my file is getting a little large, so I think the loading, okay, it's affecting the loading. But the first thing they're gonna do is just learn the basics, like Thomas Edison invented the gramophone or the phonograph, which was the first prototype of the gramophone that we have today, that I'm gonna talk about. And just like some information, like a nice retro black and white video. Yeah, I'm muting the video because it's like, I don't want to talk over it, and so I follow your advice, Clay. I am using a chair, really comfortable chair. I made it gold because I've been obsessed with gold ever since this project, because our deco has so much gold going on, reds, blacks, but if it can change it to, I don't know, black, red, or anything else, but that's neither here nor there. Again, the black and white works. I think it's just the good nice to have. It's not really adding to the experience much, but it's easy to do. So yeah, as I said before, if you don't want to watch this part of the video, just skip forward and just move on to the rest. But I'm gonna let the video finish playing before I continue talking.
An Edison machine, hand-worked and fitted with governors. Yes, like airplanes, gramophones have made great strides, and some cynics say that all they both need.
Of course,
now
I'm gonna be
is a good
giving
silencer.
credit to all of the sources in the credit scene. And after this, I have to fix that still. Like, this is the part where user gets introduced to the what the records are, the formats, the 3D main types. I did change the UI in the background a little bit. I changed the walls. Again, I'm keeping the wallpapers Art Deco. Added more gold, more vibrant gold. I added a new pattern that I liked. Some lights. Again, remember, this is based on a fictional main hub. It's not a real place, but I took a lot of inspiration from like hotels and things that were Art Deco. And so yeah, this is the station where user this triggers the info panel, toggle on and off if they glitch. But yeah, so the idea here again, this is the 78 RPM.
Shellac Records,
Um,
the earliest form of
the glitch I'm
recorded
still
music,
having is
were the
that
pioneers in the
one is
industry,
supposed to go to the right
operating at
and one to the
78
left. You can
revolutions
see
per
there's
minute,
space
or
for each
78
record in the
RPM.
middle.
These records typically
To
contain
go
one or
alongside the
two
info
songs
panel
per side.
and each voice clip.
The 45 RPM, or 44
And
revolutions per minute, record introduced around the same time as the 33 RPM, focused on single track.
Okay, yeah, it works. It's just like in play mode, it's just very weird. But yeah, so as a nice to have, I added photos of historical figures in the background. So like composers, musicians. I mean, this is the placeholder in the prefab. That's why you see her photo there. But obviously, I can replace it really easily. And so Thomas Edison, and is there, for example. I mean, like I said, it's a good nice to have. If it becomes too distracting for users, like I'll figure that out. I'll find that out in the usability test if they tell me, like if I notice to start looking around too much instead of actually paying attention to the records, then I'm gonna remove it, right? But in the meantime, I just thought it would be good nice to have. I still have to add more, like maybe chairs and things around the area. Like if they turn around here, I want to add something here. Perhaps something that says like turn around to continue the experience or whatever, right? So they don't get distracted. Because I do understand that all of these patterns and things like Art Deco can be distracting, but it's Art Deco. I didn't invent it. So again, one nice thing before I continue is, so what triggers the condition that triggers the rotation to go into the next area is in any point after users have finished listening to the audio. Like I have a timer, a coroutine script that waits even after that, and then it triggers the boolean flag to true, and that's what triggers the rotation, right? So it's not so forced. So again, is the user, as you can see, I haven't interacted with this one yet, so that's why I'm still here, and I want user to take their time and read and listen to the audio clip. Again, I'm not gonna make them read a lot of text, so it's like the main points here in the panel, and then they listen to the audio clip.
The introduction of the 33 RPM, or 33 revolutions per minute, record brought
And I did add like a very subtle jazz song in the background. I don't want it to be distracting, but just to have something when there's no audio narrator, when there's no narrated clips playing. So please let me know what you think. Okay, now we're rotating, and as I said earlier in my previous video, the rotation is gonna happen very slowly, just because this is I don't want motion sickness. I want this to be remember, the user's not moving, I'm moving them, so they're gonna get to explore and like move around and look at the walls and enjoy decoration, right? So here's the example that I want to show. So like all of these historical figures, like artists, people that were relevant during the early 1900s, and like I said, the prefab has that photo, but I can replace it. This is second station where they learn the setup, and I'm using the same approach as I did in the beginning tutorial. So I recorded short videos to do the setup. So users can I want to make it not mandatory, but they have the option right here. It's not intrusive, but if they want to just go explore on their own, they can do it too. The go inside Gramophone button, it's not gonna show up yet after, let's say, after they have played some music. Like I don't want to give them the option to go there yet, but for now it's there. So let's click start. In this station you're gonna learn how to set up a gramophone for music played by OK. So you see the first step.
Next, locate the rotating handle on the side of the gramophone.
Ignore the voice clip.
And rotate it to start.
Again, I have to record them again, so some of them are like repeated because I'm doing just placeholders. But I hope you agree with me that this is a good approach, like using the short video looping, showing them like exactly what they need to do, the text included, and then they can have it next to them so they can follow along. And I took notes from like I've been reading about how to present panels for onboarding and stuff, so oops. Hey, please bear with me, this is play mode, remember I'm not using any controllers, I'm using the keyboard, so it's so annoying. Oops. I moved a mistake, but I promise you when in the headset it works so much better. Oh my gosh, I'm like frustrated. Okay, well that moved, but I wasn't supposed to move. Okay, there you go. You see? So please pardon me, I have not figured out how to do the full 360 rotation, but the logic works after user has this handle held for like 3 seconds, the rotation inside begins, right, which matters at the end. And so they follow along. Okay, now second step. Again, I muted the audio.
Select a vinyl record you
But
want to
you know, it's
listen
very
to,
clear in the video.
and
Okay,
place it
turn
in the
around.
middle of the turntable
They
in
select
front
a
of you.
record. Let's go this one. Frank Sinatra. I hate play mode so much, dude. Like, it's annoying. And then, you know, they refer back to the video. Okay, so you have to snap it. And I'm using the colors as affordances for, you know, for the snapping. Perfect. What's the next step? Here.
Now grab the needle above the turntable.
I'm
and
still
gently
calling it
place
needle,
on
but
top of
in
the
some
vinyl
places they call it
record.
stylus. But you know, they follow along the video. It's moving this thing here. Okay, perfect. Then
Welcome to Sonidify XR part.
You see, that's what I told you. I was using placeholder audio clip, so that's supposed to say now you have to locate the brake, because you know everything's rotating inside, but we have a brake on, so the brake is located on the left lower side. So user moves the brake, releases the brake, and now the new playback should begin because all the conditions were met for the rotation. And yeah, I see that glitch. I have to log the position of it so it doesn't move up, and it's glitching really badly over there. You can see the red, but the music playback's working, and you know, like user blur in the setup. I'm gonna move mute, continue.
Alright, it's your turn to dive into the VR.
Okay, yeah, again, this video I think of doing like an applause or something, like congratulations, you just learned how to set up a gramophone. But there's more steps, right? So if you want to change songs, I don't want to assume that users will remember what they just did, so like just let's backtrack. Now you know how to like change the record, right? So you remove the stylus, the first thing, or you have to switch the order of the array, but you first put the brake back on. Okay, now it stopped rotating. If you remember what to do, you just continue, but for those who need an extra hand, okay, you will be removing the stylus from the record so you don't scratch it, and then you remove the record, you know, which is what you would do in real life. Like all the steps are okay. Clay, please bear with me. This looks like a bad user experience because I'm using play mode. You understand that, right? It's not because it sucks. It's just, you know, like let the usability test determine that. But in the meantime, play mode is just really sucky. Alright, so I'm gonna grab another one and snap. And the next step was that. So yeah, I think that's where the last step ended. Like, yeah, you change the record and so on and so forth. Like, you know, just go back to the needle, you know, user. This is where I'll determine usability testing, whether they learned it or not, because they don't have the UA panel anymore, but they already did it a second time. So let's see, rotating. So there you go, it's working. And then after like second song or whatever, that's when the go inside gramophone option goes in. So now user learns how to set it up, and the next part is like how does it work on the inside, right? So we're gonna click inside, we're gonna go, and boom. Now I'm still working on the internal parts, but you know, I have set up a good script, very scalable script that allows me to do individual rotations at different speeds for the gears. This is the governor that I'm working on that's supposed to also rotate like on the y-axis, and this is what I'm gonna have the narrator explain to user. So when you rotate the handle outside. That triggers the gears, and that's what controls the, you know, the speed of the governor or whatever. Like, it's all connected. And then I'm gonna have a hover. Like, when user hovers, they get a short info panel about the governor, what it is, or maybe like this main gear here, and the one in the back, like, you know, the most important parts. Hover over the ones here in the middle that triggers the rotation that we see outside on the turntable. This is linked to that. And I'm in the corner. I think it's the best position to be inside, from the corner, to see everything. And then after user has learned what they need to learn, then the next exit gramophone button is gonna appear. So again, right now I have it here for testing, but it's not gonna be here until they learn. Then they go back outside, and then after a while, a few seconds, the narrator is gonna start talking again, like, let's continue, blah blah blah, and that's what will trigger the next rotation, right? So yeah, so, you know, there you go. We just learned something else. I mean, I can go extra and add quizzes, but I don't think people want to do a quiz in VR. But, you know, I really hope that by now you guys know that my MVP is basically almost like it's almost finished, right? Except for the little bugs that you saw earlier. But my MVP, the most important part, is ready. At this point, this is the third station. I'm gonna here show, like, people hover and click on a button and get another info panel, like, you know, these were the different models of gramophones, like His Majesty by Victrola, or like a different brand or whatever, you know, show them this. And then this is the scene that will transition into the music store. So the way I have them put all the gramophones, I hope to create the music store accordingly. And then my system just crashed. I apologize, but okay, no, it's good. So yeah, and then the last one, I'm just gonna like walk from here, so you don't have to, like that, you know. After that, I go into the music store, then I come back, and then he rotates one last time, and then I get to the final part, which is the recording studio. I also started working on that, you know, which is where I want to have the instruments here show, okay, everybody had to be present recording in front of the big gramophone, big horn, and then this one transitions into the recording studio somehow, which I'm struggling to find assets for that, and like people performing, because I guess not neither paid nor free, but, you know, if I can get those, that would be really nice as well to wrap up. After that, the user will have done a complete 360. Yeah, so they're not going back to the beginning, and then this will take them to the credits scene, and that's it. You know, I can, at this point, I can add or remove things as I remove. By remove, I mean maybe the portraits, or like change to wallpapers. But my main MVP is basically almost done. I just gotta work on the creating the like finishing the internal machine, and then the music recording studio and the music store. And that's my update for this week. If you feel this video is too long, just like kind of skip through it, forward it, but I needed to document it. So thanks everybody, and see you in class sometime in the future. Bye.